Hello and welcome to Coonabarabran for the second round of the 2012 Monster Energy Drink MX Nationals. Today on the MotoOnline.com.au Pre-Moto show, we have series commentator Kam Williams. Welcome. Mick Sinclair from Fox and Oakley. Now the big news today, Ben Townley, he's been injured in a practice incident early on in the session. What do we know so far?
At this point in time, Ben Townley's been airlifted by helicopter to, I believe, Royal Sydney Hospital. He believes it was a fractured hip, and he would be aware of that given his previous injury with a fractured hip. And at this point, that's about all we know. Heartbreak. What else do you say? Heartbreak. I feel a bit heartbroken as well, just because I was so looking forward to seeing him go to the US and really take him on. So at this point, fingers crossed, maybe it's not that bad.
Now Ben Townley, he's one that came out Conondale a fortnight ago. He pretty much dominated the field. He won all three motos in the Premier MX1 class. He came out, just set the benchmark for 2012. But this incident happened so early in the session. What's your thoughts on it?
Mate, I don't really understand it, really. It was the second lap of practice, so we weren't even qualifying. He hasn't been here before, so he's had a one lap under yellow flag, and he's just gone for it. And after turn one, hit that whoop section and just lost control. Apparently, his hand slipped off the handlebar, and from then he just went over the bars, and the bike followed him. And after that, I don't think anyone really knows what else happened, but it's a shame. I'm very disappointed for him, for the Carlton Dry Honda team, and of course Chad Reed. It's just a tragedy for everyone.
Yeah, it is a bit of disappointment just because this was supposed to be Ben's final appearance here in Australia. He was going over to 2-2 Motorsports in the USA. The AMA season starts next month in Hangtown, so best of luck to Ben on a speedy recovery, and we can't wait to see him back on track. Also, for this round, it's a doubleheader, the first doubleheader round of 2012, I guess, in the sense that we have support classes here this weekend. What that means is here on Saturday, we've had the Pro Open guys, Pro Lights, and the MXD class already out on track. What's your take on qualifying so far? Who looks fast, who's impressive, and how's the track look?
Track's looking really good. We've had an overcast day here, so as far as the track holding up, it's been pretty solid. It's very dusty. We're essentially out in the desert, so it's very dusty and it's going to get messy. So the guys worked really hard last night to get plenty of water down, and I believe they'll be at it again tonight. As far as qualifying goes, in the Monster Pro Open, the young guns. Bopping, Jake Moss, maybe not so much young gun, but Jake Moss very fast and Todd Waters very fast, and I did see those three guys looking really good. Billy McKenzie not happy, just looked like he couldn't get a lap, just was stuck in traffic, so I think we can probably discount his time at this point in time. And Josh Coppins, well, qualifying doesn't really show for much for Josh Coppins. We know he's going to be fast. In this MX1 class, Mick, we know you've had a quick look at the lap times. What are your thoughts so far here on Saturday afternoon?
I'm not really surprised with Bopping's time. He was out here all week. I know Ty Simmons was fourth. He rides out here a lot as well. I'm not too sure of Todd. I think Todd rode out here last year for the first time, but he's going to be there every week. But I'm not really surprised. I thought Jay would have been up there a little more. Coppins was disappointed with sixth place. He actually thought he was going faster than that, but he says it is what it is, and we all know he'll be up front tomorrow. I think with the lights, Stokesy was on fire from lap one of the practice session. It was good to see Boydie back up there. Mosey was super fast early on, but the guys just seemed to really min a little bit. But it's going to be interesting with under 19s. I thought Dylan Longs was quickest. He looked the fastest, but he was back down in fifth. And probably the biggest surprise of the day was Cale Makem, privateer KTM rider on a two-stroke, got out there and qualified P1.
Yeah, and you can catch all of the action, all of the lap times from practice and qualifying from today on MotoOnline.com.au. Now, one thing that we're seeing this weekend, this track, it's pretty much one of the best on the calendar. So many riders love it. It's prepared well this year. It looks awesome. High speed, lots of jumps. What's your take on it? How good is this Goanna Tracks complex?
As good as I've ever seen, to be honest with you. I've never been to the US, to be honest with you, but as good as this country's seen, in my humble opinion, I think it's fantastic, Everything's spectacular. Massive step up over the back. The guys are loving that. I know the 19s are all just frothing. They want to get over there, and obviously they're not doing that back section of a track. As far as the 19s go, I did see Twisty Keisha and Kane Lamont over this massive finish line tabletop. Big whips in the first lap looking at each other, so it's spectacular. And guys who really like to ride like that, they're going to turn it on here. And so, I think the racing tomorrow is going to be pretty special.
That's the thing that is cool about this place. What I noticed, I sat up on top of the big hill. Pretty much it's the only place you get phone reception, so I was up there doing a little bit of trying to catch up on some tweeting. But what I find really cool is that guys like Todd Waters, Keisha, all of these young guys out here, they're coming out, they're pretty much rolling out of gates first, being aggressive from the start, doing big scrubs, you know, having lots of fun out there as well. Is that part of these young guys' game plan to try and, you know, step up and battle with the veterans of the sport?
Absolutely. I think that's got a lot to do with why the younger kids are quicker today, because I know for a fact Brad Anderson qualified 9th. I think he doesn't like the track. He told me that today, and I don't think Josh Coppins is that stoked with it either. They said it's fast, but it doesn't really flow in some spots. So maybe that's what, you know, the young guys are fully into. They're into the big jumps. They like doing the big whips, the scrubs, where the old guys just want to go and race. So that's probably why it's given those young kids. Oh no, they're having more fun out there today. So, you know, it's helping them ride faster.
Let's speak about so far overall for the season, as far as the season goes. Surprises that we've seen. Todd Waters at round 1, I know you predicted him to be strong for this championship. Jake Moss is a privateer on the Campbell Mining Honda. He was impressive at round 1, 4th overall as well. So also guys like Ford Dale, he was just so fast at round 1. And Errol Willis was impressive too as a first time in the lights. Who are your surprise standouts so far?
Pretty much those guys. I guess in terms of results, Daniel McCoy's, they probably weren't awesome, but he just couldn't get the bike right. So he just had a bad day, you know. I think McCoy's going to be faster than that. Kane Lamont in the MXD or the 19s class, like the kid raced the British Championship in MX2 last year, and literally 3 weeks before the season, he's decided to come over here and race this, and man, he's got it. Mixed prediction in the MXD, doing long. I guess I didn't think about him because he was injured last year, man. That kid was so fast last weekend. I watched Jay Wilson, and I know he's up for the championship, but he's looking really good at the moment. He looks really fast. In Pro Lights, Shane Boyd today, really good to see the old dog, you know. Like I had a chat to him on the line before, and he's just talking about the way he's had to trim down, shed weight, change his riding style, and that sort of thing. And I honestly believed it wasn't going to suit Shane Boyd, so second fastest or third fastest in qualifying today. So, bam, that to me is a really good surprise, and a good, pleasant surprise, because I'm a fan of Shane Boyd.
And Mick, for yourself, I know that you had some surprise performances at round 1, also carrying that momentum into today. You know, what are your thoughts so far on how this season's playing out?
The biggest surprise for me is Cale Makem. He's relatively unknown. Not too many people know about him. He finished 5th at Conondale. This track suits him a lot better. Similar to like tracks like Montague with that loamy kind of dirt, and you know, he went out there and qualified quickest. I don't think anyone expected that. That really surprised me. The other one who I didn't think would be up there and as fast as what he is, Adam Onia. He's shown everyone how fast he is this year. He's on board the new 07 team. Adam Bailey and Steve Powell and Mark Horton are really putting in a huge effort to get those guys riding fast, and it's definitely paying off for them. You know, they've got a real tight bond, that whole team, and I'm really happy for how it's turning out, and I think Adam will win some races. The other one who surprised me, and I know Cam picked him for the championship, is Todd. You know, he's been hurt the last few years. He just looks different now. He looks like he's ready to win some races and win some championships. So he surprised me, because I thought he would have done what he's done the last couple of years.
That Suzuki team, it's pretty low profile. They're pretty much the only factory team in this pit that doesn't have a full-on semi. It's not a massive setup, but what they do, they seem to have this year they've stepped up to 2 450s. Waters has joined Cooper. Do you think Waters has surprised Cooper in some ways? He's come out from the start, sort of asserted his authority. He's shown that, hey, I want to be the #1 guy in this team. Do you feel that should help raise Cooper in the rounds to come?
Absolutely. I know Cody Cooper, and I had a chat again to him on the line today as well, and he was disappointed with his performance there, and he knew he had to go back to New Zealand and do some work. And you know, in all forms of motorsport, the first person you've got to beat is your teammate, isn't it? You know, so he's got his eye on Cody Cooper, and no disrespect to Cody Cooper, but I think Todd Waters had enough speed to cover him last year, and Todd Waters, obviously, I'm reasonably close with those guys, and I know that Todd loves that bike. You know, he got on that thing straight out of the box. He loved it because he thought it was fast. Something I do want to get back to as well, when you're talking about Adam Monia, big surprise to me. Something I'm really impressed with is his attitude. He's gone and he's done some work, and his attitude's changed dramatically. You know, and I really like that, man. You know, Adam Monia is a good kid, man, and he's lost that little bit of arrogance that he had, and I think that's going to show through in his riding. You know, he's very determined. He's been concreting, you know, so he got a taste of the real word, and I agree with Mick. I think Adam Monia's going to be very strong in the lights.
It's got a lot to do with Bailey and Powley. You know, Bailey and Powley have grabbed hold of him, I think, before it got too late, and they've worked hard with him, and and it's really made him. His attitude has changed completely. I think he's a different person. He's just goes around about things the right way now, and I'm stoked the way it turned out because he's always had that potential, and now I think it's just starting to to come out.
It's definitely an impressive lineup, impressive team, that 07 Motorsport Suzuki team. Now, Jay Marmont, this is the round last year where he come out. Pretty much this is where he used it as a platform to go on and win that 4th championship. He won here. I know he took so much confidence from Goanna Tracks last year. He wasn't too bad at round 1. I think he was equal 6th, 7th overall, whatever it was. He was disappointed with that. But as you've mentioned before, it was still better than his first round from 2011. Where do you think Jay Marmont, lies in this points chase, and when will he really start having to say, hey, I feel comfortable on this Kawasaki, I'm ready to go, it's time to win? Is that coming around the corner? How early in the season can we expect that?
I think Jay, he's still a little bit sore too. His knee's not 100%, but like I said, he finished 7th last week. Round 1 at Coonabarabran, first round last year he was 9th and still come back and won the title. So what he qualified 7th today. I think you don't win championships in qualifying. He'll always be up there in the races. I think he'll start turning it around from here and Wonthaggi, and then by the time we get to Wanneroo, he'll be the Jay we know. He'll be the one that everyone's looking out for.
Dan Reardon, he's once Simmons departed from JDR KTM, he was pretty much left as a lone ranger there. He's on the 450 this year, not the Dungey edition, but he's on the 2012 model. It's a good looking bike. I did a photo shoot with it this morning, just immaculate, so well prepared. What's it going to take for Dan Reardon to rise and pretty much meet the potential that we all know that he has inside of him? When can we expect that, and will it come on that bike?
I believe it's inside Dan Reardon. Well, we've seen him do it, I think before he went to the States, there wasn't the talent here that there is now. Like, it's a much deeper field. Dan just needs to tick one box. I'm not quite sure whether it's confidence or what it is, and when he ticks that box, he's going to be a front runner. But having said that, there's a lot of other guys that are genuinely faster right now. No disrespect to Dan, they're just faster, and these guys were coming through juniors and 19s as Dan was winning. So yeah, he's got a bit of work to do. No doubt about that. He's a good dude. He's on a good team, and a lot of people are looking to go, well, when are you going to put the last piece of the puzzle in place here, man? We want to see Dan Reardon the 1-2-2 back.
One interesting thing that we have here at Goanna Tracks, which I noticed, I went up on the hill, looked at the guys going up. It's sort of like Glen Helen a bit, this section of track. But what I noticed today is MX1, MX2, those guys are going up over the step up, over the big hill. The MXD class, they're not. They've got a shorter version of this track, as do the vets and the quads, from what I believe. Should the MXD be going up over that hill? They're obviously senior riders. I think they're capable. Why aren't they?
I got no idea why they aren't. I think they should be going over there for sure. I did hear it could be something to do with the dust. I'd be happy to be proven wrong, but I think they should be going over there. And it's like, when you go to a junior race meeting and the Pee-wee guys get a shorter track, they get the flag marshal, send them off over here, and it reminds me of that. It's a little bit disappointing. I was actually drove here this morning with Adam Bailey, and I was laughing at him because he had to ride on the shorter track. I remember doing that at Hallam back when I was on a 50, and I don't agree with it.
Yeah, me either. I think they definitely should be doing that. And if it is down to the track watering, then fair enough. It's obviously such a huge place to water, so much to get around on. But it would be good to see those guys doing the full track.
I agree as well, guys. Yeah, totally in agreement. Yeah.
Now, final say, who will win? Who's looking strong? BT's injury, it's such a shame, but it's pretty much, I was expecting coming into this weekend for after each round we do the post-race interviews, obviously, for the website. Goes online on Tuesdays. I pretty much said, hey, to Simon Macca, who's also one of our guys who contribute to the site, I said to him, hey, last time at round 1 I did the MX1 interview. It's probably going to be Ben Townley again, so you can do that this time, fellow Kiwi, obviously. And this time I was going to do the MX2. But BT's out now, so that's just blown it wide open. MX1, MX2 and MXD. Who are your picks?
Oh, this is tough. Look, there's a couple for me at this point in time for MX1. I think Waters, Bopping, Moss. There you go. That's a political pick, isn't it? Any one of those three are going to be really good. Josh Coppell.
That's like a Mick pick.
It is, yeah. It's a pick you're having when you're not picking a pick, you know. Any three of those guys are going to be pretty strong. I think that for Dale, he's going to be pretty quick. He had a massive moment in qualifying, and I think that might have shaken him up a little bit. And look, the 252 stroke's really strong around this track, and I believe that's why Kam Williams, no disrespect to him, but I think that bike it suits this track. Watching Jay Wilson in qualifying and Kane Lamont, man, those two are on it, you know. But so essentially, you know, there you go. There's my bingo pick, if you will. I just don't know at this point. I'm not really going to put my what's on the line.
Social Sinks, let's hear yours.
Mate, I'm not even scared this time. MX1, I think Todd Waters is going to win. Although he wasn't the fastest today, I think he'll still win. I think Bopping will be second, and I think either, who have I got here? It'll be Brad Anderson or Jake Moss in third place. I think it's going to be the young guys, 1, 2 and 3. Lights, I'm going Stykesy. How can you bet against him at the moment? He's quickest all day from lap 1 of practice right until the end of qualifying. He was the quickest. Boydie's, his attitude's completely changed from last week. He was probably the most disappointed rider out of round 1, but he rode good today. They've changed a lot of things on the bike. He's happy with it. He's comfortable. He's confident. And third place, it's probably going to be Gibbsy or Adamonia. I think Mosey will be up there. He'll always start up the front, but I think the guys will really min as the race goes on a little bit. MXD, I'm going to go with my boy again, Dylan Long. I think he'll win convincingly. Second, I'm going to give to Carl Makem, and then Joel Milesevic will be third. So 3 Victorian boys on the box for MXD.
Did you write this before or after qualifying?
Mate, after qualifying, it's all down there. I come back after I watched all 3 of them and made my notes, so there you go.
Okay, perfect. For me, my picks for this round are going to have to steal your guy as well, Todd Waters. I think that he can get it done. He won the New South Wales state titles round last weekend at Moree. Had some good competition there, so he's got the ball rolling in the pro lights, I'd have to say. I'm going to go out and pick Josh Keisha. You know, all of them, it's just such an open basketball. I just like his style. He looks cool out there. He's relaxed. He's having fun. And I'd like to see him win. He's a great talent. MXD, I'm going to stick again with Jay Wilson. He actually told me the other day he's got relatives on this dirt road that, you know, on the way into this place. So he spent a lot of time out here. He's not 100%. Yeah, they live out here. So he's not 100% fit right now, but I think that he can get it done in the MXD. I'll stick with him.
Well, I'm going to push in. I'm going to put it on the line here. Waters, Dale, Wilson. There you have it. They're my picks. I'll sling it on the line, but my boy Waters.
You'll be watching up there. You've actually got a crane this weekend that you're going to be commentating out of. That work or what?
It's amazing. I'm 50 metres off the ground. At first, I have to say, I might have been a little bit pale and a little bit nervous, but it's the best view on the house. Check out my Facebook page if you want to see the photos next week. I've got some great photos.
I liked your little hard hat you had to wear, mate. If you're coming at it, I think that hard hat's doing nothing for you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, on health and safety, yes.
Okay, well, perfect. Well, that's it from us on MotoOnline.com.au on the pre-Moto show on MotoOnline. That's it. We'll be back from Goanna Tracks at Coonabarabran with all the results come Sunday afternoon.